Welcome to the Mitsy Kit instructions on how to assemble your Fleece Infiniti Scarf. Your kit includes 3 13-inch fleece squares attached end to end in a tube, along with 12 fleece strips, a bag of 9 plastic clips, and a small plastic needle. We're going to lace together your fleece squares using a cross stitch. First, lace a fleece ribbon through your plastic needle, leaving about a 2-inch tail. Take your fleece squares that are in a tube and place them on the table in front of you so that they form a rectangle shape with the long side going up and down the table. On one side of the squares, you should feel an intersection with some tactile bordered holes, and on either corner of that side, you will feel 2 safety pins. We are going to perform the overcast stitch going down, top down through every other hole from one corner to the other between the safety pins. So lace your plastic needle, go top down through the corner, bring your fleece ribbon through, leaving about a 4-inch tail, come up over the edge and go top down through every other hole until you get to the other corner. Then, when you're done with that, feel for those little plastic T-clips along the edge that are attaching the 2 squares and clip off the top of the T. Then the bottom portion of the clip will just slide right out. Now we're going to move on and lace your second fleece ribbon through your plastic needle, and we're going to lace in the opposite direction. So starting in the corner hole you just laced up through, go top down through with your plastic needle and fleece ribbon right beside the tail that was already there, and leave the tail the same length as the previous tail. Then go top down in the opposite direction, feeling for those tactile bordered holes that are left open. You're going to simply go top down through each of those open holes in the opposite direction until we reach the prior corner. This forms a pretty cross stitch across this intersection. If you feel it, it feels almost like an X with your fleece strips. Once you get to that next corner hole, the opposite corner hole, you're going to go top down right beside the tail that was previously laced there. Bring your tail through and remove your tail from the plastic needle. Now we're going to do the same thing with the next intersection. Remove the safety pins from the intersection you just laced, and feel for the next intersection between the 2 safety pins. Lace your next fleece ribbon through your plastic needle, leaving about a 2-inch tail. And again, go top down through the corner hole, bring your fleece ribbon up over the edge and go top down through every other hole until you reach the opposite corner. Then you can lace up your second fleece ribbon through your plastic needle and go in the opposite direction, going top down through the open holes that you left. Continue to do this until you get to that corner hole again, and remove all T-clips and safety pins from that side. And then repeat this process for your third intersection. Going top down through every other hole in one direction, clip off the plastic clips, and then going top down through the open holes in the opposite direction. And once again, you're going to remove all of the plastic clips as well as safety pins from that side. Next, we're going to take this tube and we're going to flip it sideways so that we can then fold it in half lengthwise. And you're going to fold your fabric with the wrong sides together, so it's going to form a long rectangular tube. You should feel 2 plastic U-shaped clips on the center of each of your fleece squares, and you can use those to line up the center points of each of your rectangles. Once you have those lined up into a folded rectangle, you're going to use the plastic clips that came in the bag 3 per rectangular side to close up the open sides of the folded rectangle and to align the tactile bordered holes on the front and back. This will get us ready for performing the overcast cross stitch on this open edge. So you should have one plastic clip on one intersection of the rectangle, one somewhere near the middle of that open side of the rectangle, and then the third near the opposite intersection of the open side of the rectangle. Do this for all 3 sides between the intersections so that all of these open sides of the rectangle are lined up with the holes all aligned and ready for stitching. Once you've clipped all of these open sides of your rectangles, you will lace again a fleece ribbon through your plastic needle, leaving about a 2-inch tail, and we're going to repeat the cross stitch, overcast stitch on these open sides of the rectangles, starting in one of the intersection corners. And this is going to be a little more difficult because you already have some fleece tails coming through that corner hole. So you're going to have to edge that over with your plastic needle and ribbon and slide your fleece tail through. And then go every other hole toward the opposite intersection on that open side of the rectangle. You can remove the plastic clips as you come to them, including that U-shaped plastic clip. Continue going top down through every other hole until you reach the next corner hole at that other intersection. And once again, it will be a little bit more difficult to get your fleece ribbon and needle through because there are other tails already coming up through. Just edge them over with your fingers and slide that plastic needle and ribbon right down beside them. Make sure you're going through both the top and the bottom layers because you want to be attaching both sides of the rectangle together. Pull those tails through. And now that we've done that, we're going to go back in the opposite direction with another fleece ribbon. So lace that other fleece ribbon, go top down through that corner hole again right beside the other tails, going through both layers. Pull your fleece tail through until the tail that's left is about the same size as the other tails there. And now you're going to fill in those empty holes going in the opposite direction. Again, forming that nice overcast cross stitch on the seam. So continue feeling with your fingers for those open holes. Go top down through. When you reach the next corner hole, again, edge your plastic needle beside the other tails. Go through both layers and pull through the tails. And you've finished closing up one of your rectangular sides. Flip it over to the second intersection of where your open side of your rectangle is, and repeat the process. Go top down, right next to that intersection. Go over the edge and do every other hole in one direction. Get your next fleece ribbon and come back from that corner, filling in the empty holes and doing the cross stitch along the seam to close up that second rectangular portion of your scarf. Flip it over and repeat for the third rectangular section, closing up this open end of your rectangular folded scarf. Remember to remove the plastic clips as you get to them. There, now you have all three sides of your rectangular tube scarf all tied together. And now we're going to tie the tails on each intersection into tassels. There will be 8 tails at each intersection. You're going to tie 4 tails on the top of the intersection together in a double knot, and the other 4 tails on the bottom of the intersection in a knot. And then you're just going to trim them so it's about 2 inches of tail left into a nice neat tassel. Do this on all 3 intersections of your rectangular squares or your rectangular pieces. And there you have it. You've finished your beautiful infinity scarf. If you have any questions at all, feel free to call us at 978-419-1824. Happy crafting!